watching us, whether it's Prince Nania York in the UK or Zillis Dwayne or Manini Mani or the rest of our loyal viewers in the UK, particularly Yemole Yemo. Hey, Manye, and then, of course, we have all those who will be watching us, whether it's Kwesi Mensah in Albany, New York, Dr. Carl Domino, North Carolina, Charlotte, more specifically. We say welcome right here. We always say good morning to Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, the Group Chief Executive for the RAID Group. Dr. Salifu Combat is up north as well, now boss for the National Health Insurance Authority, Upper East Region. And certainly we have Chairman Prosper, the rest of all those who are doing some great work as well. Randa Shaw, the rest of the Shaw family, James the Drain, Dry as well, always watching us. Dr. Juliet Ayura Tengi of the Ghana Military Academy, great lady. And well, we have a number of things to talk about for this morning segment. We're asking some key critical questions, and then we'll play that back to you, and then you also get to respond to that very soon. But for big issues, the special prosecutor has come up with the latest by way of the number of cases the office has been taking a look at, and the big subject has been their position on the Cecilia Dapagate, so to speak, as well as just counting down to that by-election in Akwitia. We know the NDC have also elected their candidate, but we had the MPP. It has been a seat that always goes to the MPP, NDC, reversing in between the two parties. And the MPP say they now have a stronger candidate even than before. And so well poised to see how that election will be going. Please make sure you join us. We'll bring you the latest sports headlines as well. We have cash out. And Cookie, we have cash out.
Yes, 10 people taking away 1,000 Ghana cedis.
10,000 Ghana cedis in all.
To 10 people this morning. So *439# if you're a Telecel or MTN subscriber, you already know what to do. You're choosing option 2. Well, if you are new to this, then this is a way that you get to win cash. I mean, proper cash sent to you straight to your Momo wallet. We do not tax anything at all on it. You get the full amount. And this morning, 10 of you can win 1,000 Ghana cedis. 1,000 Ghana cedis. And the code for you to dial if you are a Telecel or MTN subscriber is *439#. *439#. When you dial that, you see a few prompts on your phone's screen. You choose option 2, which is the TV3 option. You follow the rest of the prompts on your phone, and you're good to go. One coupon will cost you 5 Ghana cedis, and you play in multiples of 5 as many times as possible to guarantee your chances of winning. So 10 of you winning 1,000 Ghana cedis. All right, let's get into this morning. Rolly, are we discussing the same topic we were discussing before we came live?
The intrusions into the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, and then the assault on the medical staff.
And I'm sure by now you've seen that viral video originally posted by Ralph St. William, who many people call a social media activist. He used to be part of the...
It's an activist, not only...
There was a movement. What's the name of that movement? There was a youth movement. The name just escaped me. No.
Is it Arise Ghana?
No, no, there's another one. Apart from Democracy Hub, there's another one.
I think it's Arise Ghana.
Kali J was part of it, and later on...
I think it's Arise Ghana or something like that.
Fix the country. Fix the country. Thank you very much. So he's been part of all those movements, very well known on social media. And yes, we can understand sometimes our frustration, especially when you get to the hospital with emergency cases, and the health workers seem to be a bit lackadaisical. I mean, they've got explanations to it all the time, but this is Ghana. We've been here for a very long time.
Fix the country.
We know how things play out. We understand the frustration, but going all the way to take videos of even patients that were not even aware of what was going on, we think it's a no-no. But the opinion is yours to share with us this morning. We're activating the phone lines. Let's talk about it. Well, the GRNMA says that they are giving government or the police a 48-hour ultimatum to arrest the gentleman. They've been speaking across board yesterday. They were on Ghana Tonight. They've been on many of the media platforms that we have in this country, and they're still demanding the arrest of the gentleman, including the 8 allegedly who attacked the nurse. I think her name is Nurse Joyce or Rejoice. I stand for correction. We are told, Rejoice, right? So we are told that about 50 of these men intruded or interrupted proceedings in the hospital, but eyewitnesses say about 8 of them, including Ralph St. William, attacked Nurse Joyce. And yesterday we saw her speaking. She had been bandaged. I think her shoulder was dislocated and all of that. So we just want to come to you this morning to ask what your opinion is about this very matter. Is the GRNMA right to request the gentleman's arrest within 48 hours? And I mean, that request was yesterday, so now it's like left to 24 hours for his arrest. Many people are also complaining about the health minister's posture when he met the gentleman. Many people are saying, no, you shouldn't have been cordial with him. Why were you even giving him a hug in the glare or in the visibility of eyewitnesses around? We don't think that it was a good thing. That's what many of you are saying. But let's activate the phone lines, get to know what your opinions are. Welcome to This Morning.
Hot material moment that the minister embraced the gentleman, but I'm told that it was after they had interaction with management, meaning that he had been adequately briefed about the perpetrators of this heinous crime. Yet he went about, embracing the gentleman. It's very unfortunate. Okay, because if you are not safe.
Phone lines have been activated. Do call us. Let's know what your thoughts and opinions are about this one. Gaiji, good morning to you. Randashal, good morning to you as well.
Gaiji,
your
get connected.
Yes, get connected. You can also send us your messages on Facebook. Prince Henry from Koforidia, I see your message here as well. Master Planner Kintampo says, happy glorious birthday to former Second Lady Hajia Samira Baumia. May the Almighty Allah bless her abundantly. 2029, inshallah, she will be the First Lady for the Republic of Ghana. Happy birthday, Second Lady, former Second Lady Hajia Samira Baumia. Peter T is already on the telephone lines. Good morning, Peter.
Yeah, good morning, darling. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you again for joining us this morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, first of all, let me seize this opportunity to say good morning to Alaji Okondo, a hard-working man, big, and then Alaji Chamava and Alaji Rao. Kukiti, you know that the fact that we condemn the act, those, especially those who are involved, but I disagree a bit with the statement issued by the director. I don't know if he's the director, the one who just spoke.
Yes.
That they are appealing to government that within a certain period of time, government must be able to act on this and bring the perpetrators to book. And the ultimatum, I disagree with him. Because look, when the thing happened, some of them who were at the scene, they ran away and left the lady alone. They should be the best people to identify this. And I wonder if they don't have camera at the place. Because if camera will be at the at the hospital and the various places, especially the place that the act, was perpetrated, I believe that the camera could have captured this person. So they should allow the government to do the work and investigate and bring these people to book. Okay. So that at least, but when giving ultimatum, I disagree again with him if he's the director of the caretaker or the authority of the place. Thank you very much.
That's your opinion, and it is very much welcome. You can also call us so we know exactly what your thoughts are. Bright Mackenzie says, I once had an accident and was rushed to Efia Nkwanta in the Western region for emergency attendance. I wish you were there, Roland and Cookie, to witness the lackadaisical attitude of the nurses on duty. Some nurses are just unprofessional. Orton Afram Senior says, it's interesting that filming police is considered normal, but filming nurses is deemed wrong. This is Ghana for you. And Towa da Yadase for your message. Bemu Winard says, if not for hypocrisy of Ghanaians, why would any person blame Ralph? This is absolute nonsense. You guys are really aware of how people or patients get treated and unattended to when the person is not a public figure. It's about time we change our attitude towards work. And I think I get the import of the message. You, the media houses, shouldn't be hypocritical in your analysis. The director of the GRNA MA says it's already politicizing the issue. Very uncut of him. Well, all opinions are very welcome here. And if you were listening to me, I said, yes, we do understand the frustration. This is Ghana. We've all gone through it. We've all experienced the lackadaisical attitude. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes exhibited by our health workers. That is what I said before I went on to what Ralph St. William did by filming everything that was going on, including patients who were on admission at the Ridge Hospital. Are we saying that that part of the act was right? Well, it's for you to tell us right now. And I'm told another caller is also on the line. Hello, good morning, Bashiru.
Good morning, Kupiti.
Bashiru, are you calling us from Kumasi?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Atlantic
Bashiru. Great.
Precisely.
Talk to us.
Okay, I'm very grateful for this opportunity because I've been calling for about a year now.
Oh, thank God you've gotten through this morning. You're very welcome.
Yeah, I'm always enjoying your show, you and Roland. But
Thank
please,
you.
before I start my conversation, may I know the whereabouts of Belamundi?
She's on a little break.
Oh, okay. Now, coming back to the issue that happened at the Ridge Hospital, I think it's very unfortunate. And then the government has to do thorough investigation. Sometimes these health workers, especially the nurses, they provoke patients. They take patients for granted as if they just come there to look at people's face. They come with this in concerns. So I don't know what actually the nurse did for the guy to have mobilized some mob to come on her. But for the health minister to have met the guy and embrace with that cordial friendship action that he did, I think it wasn't fair. As a minister, if you do this, people will conclude that you are behind the guy.
But how about this? How about this scenario that he really did not have the full import of what had happened, and just when he was walking in was met by this gentleman, and he's the health minister. He's supposed to be nice to everyone, no?
Oh, okay. So he had not heard that the guy has messed up at the hospital before they had that friendship conversation. Is that it?
Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I'm asking. You mean that the health minister didn't know that the guy has messed up at the hospital? I wouldn't
know. I'm just asking that what if at the point where he hugged the gentleman, he did not know what had happened? Because I listened to him on another sister station yesterday, and he said he was just walking in and he met the gentleman and they just exchanged pleasantries before he entered to understand the full import of what had happened. I listened to the health minister.
Okay, but I'll just play with the health authority to exercise a little patience so that government will do a thorough investigation into the matter.
All right. We thank you for your opinion. Thank you for calling us. Thank you for calling us. But really, if you ask me, I think it's a very good time that we get to take a look at our health system and especially some of the attitudes exhibited by some of these health workers. It's interesting how sometimes they operate in these hospitals. I don't understand why, if you're not feeling well, you can wake up at 4 a.m. to get to the hospital, only to be attended to at 3 p.m. Why must it happen like that in this country? Why the long queues? Why are people given drips and other IV infusions whilst they are sitting in a chair? You can't even get a bed to lay on, and you're sitting in a chair receiving IV infusions in a very, very vulnerable state. Why must it happen in Ghana in this day and age?
Well, it's a question about policy issue and then also providing the right sort of incentives for the health workers. And also, on one part, we have to empathize with the health workers as well. Whilst on the other hand, we also have to ask the question about why the provision of these facilities haven't been made. Because the nurses, they don't provide the infrastructure. If you incentivize them well, supervise them well, they will be motivated.
Some of them actually really try.
Yeah, they do.
They bring toilet rolls and detergents and
some
things
even
from their
spend their own
homes.
money. They spend their own money.
From their own pockets.
So generally categorizing them as blatantly disrespectful and not committed to their job is also not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair.
But at the same time too, frustrations, etc., and perhaps a lack of or you being saturated with the situation at work could also lead you to psychologically react negatively to patients who need the urgent care. That is clearly what could be required of the nurses or even the doctors at the hospital. And so we have a situation in our hands. But we cannot blame the nurses on one hand and then also the public who are exerting the right sort of responsibility from the nurses and the doctors.
Emmanuel has joined us this morning. Emmanuel, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Navrongo.
Emmanuel, we can hardly hear you.
I'm calling from Navrongo.
Navrongo.
Calling from Navrongo, please.
Okay, Emmanuel, let's hear you.
Yes, please.
Emmanuel.
I want to find out something.
Go ahead.
If a police misbehave, they give that person a query. If a soldier misbehave, they give the person a query. If a nurse misbehave, if a nurse misbehave, what do they always do to that nurse? Because you go there, they will be pressing their phone. Can you imagine someone will have an accident and they will go and they are telling the person that he doesn't have a card? What is the meaning of emergency? So the person should be lying down and then they will go back and look for the person health insurance or card. They say life is important. Then someone will get an accident. You are telling the person that the person is not having a health insurance here. So they should go back and look for the insurance when the person will be bleeding or suffering. I mean, are we serious?
Emmanuel, are you still there? Okay, thank you for your call, Emmanuel. Rolly, I think I'll come to you for messages.
Okay, so we have a couple of messages, and this one, Aaron, good morning to you. And Aaron is a practitioner, he's a nurse as well, and says for all those who are at the New Tafo Government Hospital, whether it's Lily Wilson, Florence, etc., and Augustina, they do a lot of work, and they are in the, so these things have happened to me before at the emergency unit. When you get an emergency case, we first assess and attend to the most serious boss first. Then there are some cases that might be life-threatening when they are not attended to. But if you try to explain to patients, then it becomes a problem. Not that the nurses are rude. All right, we have to go to Johnny. Sorry I couldn't read all your messages on this matter.
Yeah, we've got so many messages on Facebook, but unfortunately we cannot read all of them. Yeah. Anyway, let's cross over for Johnny's Bite.
Right. Let me say thank you very much indeed to my good friend and brother, Alhaji Mutawakilu, who also is the boss of the Ghana Water Company. Good morning to you, Alhaji. Good morning. Now, also thank you to all the friends and associates and family that we have built here on Johnny's Bite to spend time to make sure that our content is out there in the public. Thank you so much. Please take me to the quarters of the DVLA. Let's have a conversation about DVLA. The DVLA road checks defects and infrastructure, infractions, delinquency fees and charges. And you may not know, but the police can stop you at any point. Yesterday, I saw some policemen around the First Light area towards Cocoa Clinic doing some nice operation, And I truly, truly and really appreciate you, because some of our brothers and sisters who ride the motorbikes think they are invincible. And they ride the motorbikes, sometimes some people's driving mirrors, they take them off, they scratch the vehicles, and they feel invincible. So some sanity has to be brought onto the streets. Say fiscal conversion vehicle body, that's 225, and you pay on the spot. General body, rickety, all the rickety trotros that I've been talking about, you pay 225 Ghana cedis. Seats, if it's dirty, for example, you pay 225 cedis. Faulty seat belt, 225. You know, some of the drivers, they're driving on the streets, the street seat belts are not working, but they just drag it and hold it with the other hand when they are approaching a police checkpoint. The police know it. So please fix your seatbelt. Lighting, electrical system, it goes for the same amount. Braking system goes for the same amount. Tires that are worn out, 225. So go and buy. You can use that money to get some tires to buy. Then we're talking about exhaust emission. It's smoky, and sometimes you're on the road and all the exhaust is so, it's not pleasant. Then seating capacity. If you overload, as they call it in trotro terms, you will pay. Defaced or obscured number plate, you pay. It has a whole list. Fire extinguisher, if you don't have, you pay. Warning triangle, you pay. Retro reflector, you pay. If you don't have all these things, you pay, because you are supposed to have them, first of all, before you get on the road. And your irresponsibility must not be the responsibility of others. No. There are drivers who don't have rear end or traffic indicators at the back. So when they want to turn to the left, they signal you with their hand out of the window. Then they start flagging you down to turn. They start flagging you down. Please, and then you turn. Why do we do that to ourselves? So take notice that if you don't have any of these things, expired learner permit, measure of misuse of driver's license, driving with international driver's license, you will pay. You will pay. Logas, good morning to you at the DVLA. You will pay for it. Now let's move on. Let's go to the self-appointed traffic warden. And yesterday I spoke about street lights and traffic lights. Now you can see a gentleman in the what do you call it? You listen to him. The gentleman is in a reflector of his own, and he's instructing drivers, because as a nation we have failed to provide traffic lights that are functional. So this gentleman decided that he is going to be the one who will be our traffic light. What does it take to keep the traffic lights on? I'm asking. What does it take to keep the street lights on? This is a very busy road from Abosokan heading towards Kolebu or Kolebu. And I'm sure that it's not just in Accra. The problem is replicated all around us. What does it take to keep the traffic lights on? And whose job is it to keep the traffic lights and street lights on? It's a very simple question that I'm asking this morning. You drive through town and the traffic lights are off and everybody is comfortable, and it's causing a lot of accidents. People are perishing because somebody who is paid, today is the 20th, by 30th, everybody who deserves to be paid for this will go and demand for their salaries. But why can't they keep the traffic lights on? 6, please go back to yesterday's folder. Find me the street light poles. We have brought street light poles into this country. Paid for it with people's money. the people's taxes. And we have decided that, oh, let's keep them somewhere. Tama Community 25, let's keep them there. This stretch I showed you this stretch about 2-3 weeks ago, that the lights around on this stretch do not work. The street lights do not work. The traffic light also doesn't work. And you have somebody who is directing and instructing, and he's not being paid by anybody. These are your street light poles brought into the country, left at the mercy of the weather. And here we are. Here we are. This is the country that we are building. This is the country that we are building. Your light poles are there, they are lying there. Some people don't have street lights. They struggle through the moment and they look at it. And they asking the question, where is our government? Traffic lights, street lights, they don't work. In a country called the Republic of Ghana, when Ghana gained independence, all these things, then you speak to the 80 plus, 60 plus, 70 plus, and they tell you some good things about the Republic of Ghana when they were born and when they were children, and how most of my friends are older people, how they enjoyed the country. So how did we become this? And I've told you that here we bring you the evidence. We don't do Matra Makwe. No, we don't do Mr. Kuma as a black cat. No. We are determined to show you the facts and the figures. 7 years ago, I did a documentary on the gutter at Asylum Down, right diagonally opposite to the Paloma Hotel, Asylum Down. I will play that for you. I will replay that for you to have a look. And you see, yesterday I told you that I'm not looking for an appointment or employment because I'm gainfully employed. And my employers, they take good care of me. So I'm happy to do my work and to work diligently, efficiently, and effectively. So if you are somewhere thinking that I'm talking because I want employment or appointment, you goof. That's one. I'm not as hungry as you are. No, I'm not hungry. Beyond that, I run private enterprises, so I'm not hungry. No. You, if you are hungry, say it, and we can come and be donating to you small. Number two, when I talk about these matters, and I'm going to show a documentary that I did personally 7 years ago. 7 years ago, who was in power? I spoke about it. The community spoke about it. Who paid attention to it? It was Minister for Works and Housing, the Minister for National Security, the Minister for whatever. Who paid attention? Nobody. So if today work is happening there, what must I be shouting about? It's a simple question. If you're a sensible person, you will sit down and analyze this nicely. 7 years ago, I spoke about it. Find me the videos and play, please.
The Breaking Bridge, that documentary that's coming to you from Asylum down here in Accra. Take a quick look at this and let's have a conversation thereafter.
She used to be slender, elegant, and graceful, but maybe not anymore. The Asylum Down Bridge sits at the epicenter of the beautiful city of Accra, with the Ring Road Central and some traders as her closest neighbors within the Asylum Down North Ridge electoral area in the Greater Accra region. The bridge serves thousands of regular and new users, mainly respectable citizens of Ghana and the working class, drawn largely from among the lively, low, and bubbly. But despite her central importance, she has been left to break apart silently, piece by piece, and her total collapse may come sooner than expected, perhaps with a lifelong traumatizing and devastating effect. At 53, she continues to serve regardless of the wear and tear. Conspicuously, the Asylum Down Bridge appears stressed and broken-hearted, and her users share in her sentiments as well. The storm drain over which she stands cannot support its own seams. Rather, filth and silt have taken center stage, singing their own chorus with the flamingos in the disheartening affairs of the Asylum Down gutter. A typical case of a troubled bridge over dirty waters. Things have fallen apart and the center can no longer hold. But mustn't she be congratulated and immediately replaced for all these years of hard labor and disrepair? A neighboring bridge has broken down and its remnants continue to lie in the gutter for as long as the authorities permit. The Community Connect team was told that the 1995 floods weakened it, and the June 3, 2015 disaster was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Is this another subject for our maintenance and safety culture? The traders on the sidelines, the collapsing Asylum Down Bridge, have their own fears too, but they don't want to be heard on tape. Have they become used to the danger? Are they fed up with the long, winding maze of bureaucracy? Or have they complained so many times already that repeating themselves can make them sound like a broken record? The 50 years plus bridge has extensive cracks that efficiently exposes the iron rods meant to be concealed in the concrete. One can feel it tremble while treading on it. Even the ramp, designed and reserved for persons with disability, is not spared. Half of the cement screening is gone. Where? No one knows. It is obvious that the Asylum Down footbridge needs urgent attention. But do the authorities realize this too? Here is Mr. Ebo Mensah. He is the assembly member for the Asylum Down North Ridge electoral area.
I've seen that people are not happy.
I'm not so happy because day in and day out, when the crowds get formed, you get scared because definitely when it rains, your attention will be drawn.
Look at that tree, for example.
Yeah.
I remember that the other time some people raised concerns that it could fall off and fall on the electric wire and cause mayhem.
Yes, it's true. Even you shouldn't think of this pole. There's 11,000 kV, 11,000 volts cable under the tree. So definitely when it falls, definitely it can cause havoc.
What are we doing about it? This has been here for some time.
I've reported this thing to ECG. They are aware. They are coming to work on it. As far as I'm concerned, I've reported this thing many times to the assembly, the city authorities. And you see, as I said, the assembly can do its part, but the rest lies on the government. It is a policy that the government had to come in.
Are you helpless in this situation?
I'm not helpless. I'm not helpless when it comes to this. I'm not helpless. We are doing our best to save the situation. But where it got into, I think the bigger people had to come in to survey the issue. Sometimes the bureaucracy are not necessary. It's unnecessary. Sometimes we need immediate reaction. There are some things we have to take serious approach to it before this bureaucracies. We can pull it down and sublet it to a contractor for him to do. Once the contractor is doing, we may sit around the table and find out this is the proper sole sourcing we are talking about. This should be the sole sourcing. If I have my way, I will declare this area a state of emergency. So you can see, just check under the bridge. You could see that the pallets are almost gone. So the next rain, that should tell you, my concern is it may rain in the afternoon once people are crossing. Who knows what will happen? It can just capsize inside and it will affect lives. So I feel we can block this. They call the place as danger area. But when you called it,
when are you going to do that?
When you called it, where are the people going to pass through?
Between life and where the people are going to pass, which do you choose?
That is why we are going to take decision on it. You could see the markets. We just took this market last 2 weeks. I am know for sure that contractors have been. They are discussing on it.
To coordinate off first.
That is to me, this place to be corded off.
So take the decision. You have it. Take it.
I can't take it unilaterally. we should sit at the committee to come out with the reason why I feel. Oh, definitely we are going to meet either after Easter, Tuesday. Okay. Environmental subcommittee will be meeting together with disaster, which I'm both man to that committees. So we are going to take urgent decision to make sure that the place is going to be covered out and make sure that nobody walks over the bridge. Because I'm afraid if it rains this night, hey, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. The filth that you see come from Nima, Mamobi, Alaju, and environs. They just throw them in the gutter. Just pass through Beyonce School up to Mamobi. Go and see heaps, fridges, containers. They are refuge from their homes. They pile out at the messes of the gutter, thinking the crowds will form. They will just throw it in. One day I took this one upon myself and my team. We went there. We were nearly lynched. We were nearly lynched because who asked us to come to that far to control them? Don't they have the assembly members?
Ivy is a resident at Asylum Down. She enjoys her daily morning walks, and this bridge is a necessary evil that aids her to cross the gap over this huge storm drain. Hear her worst fears.
It's scary because the bridge is virtually caving in, and I use it almost every other day when I'm going for my morning walks. Each time I get on it, I sort of get the shivers because just this morning I used it, and when I got on it, it just occurred to me that what if it should cave in?
Is the National Disaster Management Organization, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and the folks in charge of drains waiting for a disaster to happen before they rush to wallow in pity parties, grab photo opportunities to make speeches, distribute relief items and compensation, and just go back to sleep again? These helpless people are not asking for a gold-plated bridge. They are demanding safety and care to keep them outside the domain of fear. For workers like Agnes, who commute from one side to the other, the disheartening state of affairs, characterized by the foundation of the pillars that have been washed away, paints a scary, near-gory picture in her subconscious mind.
Anytime I walk on this bridge, I don't feel safe because I feel anything can happen at any time. Looking at the way this is, it's very risky. It's very risky, and I think the government should, or whoever is responsible for this, should really take a second look at this. Because trust me, the number of people who use this bridge, I don't know, but I think the government should do something about it.
Let this sink in for a few minutes, and then you can ask along with us in unison, who will fix this mess?
And so those are the frustrations of the people here at Asylum. Now, this bridge plays a major role in their lives. How it's been left to deteriorate onto this point and how the cracks are widening by the day continues to baffle my mind. But for us at Community Connect, we are concerned about the safety of the people here at Asylum Dam. And look around, all the squalor, the dirt, the stench in its totality is so baffling. Who will fix this mess? For Community Connect, this is Johnny Hughes, Asylum Down, Accra.
This is 7 years old. 7 long years. And 7 years ago, who was in power? We asked this question. We showed this video on national television. I was on TV3NewDay. Nobody paid attention to us. I worked effectively and efficiently with Philip Katriku and Daniel Oklu. Danny played a video now of Judge Media. Who paid attention to us? Nobody. So when you come back now and you come and say we are looking for appointments, you are the hungry one. Because we don't need backing vocalists to come and be telling our story for us. No. Now show them the effective work that is being done there. 7 years ago, we spoke about it. Nobody paid attention. 8 years plus on, somebody is now doing effective and efficient work. Put them up there. Work is happening there now. If you drive past Paloma, you will see that some work is happening. So what exactly should I be shouting about? Work is happening. The work that we spoke about the danger that we saw, that we complained about, that nobody paid attention to, that people vilified us for. The work is now happening there. It tells you how much time I invest into my work, and it tells you how much time I'm dedicated to this work. It is called passion. It is called professionalism. And we did this documentary in one day. The one I played from Nima, we did it in one day. We don't nurse the stories for 3 months, go and take some award somewhere. No. We do the story in one day. If we are determined to do it, we do it. They are working on it. They are cutting the tree that threatens the lives of the people in terms of the electricity cable. They are working on the what do you call it? On the drain. They are working on the bridge. 7 years ago, I complained about it. 7 years down the line, it is happening. Somebody is working. Somebody is thinking. And you come and sit somewhere and say, we are looking for appointment. That's why we are talking. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should bow down your head in shame. All you think about is politics. National development is out of the window. All you think about is your political party. And then some nonsense that runs through your head. That's what you think of. I just showed you a full documentary 7 years ago done in one day. I closed from TV3NewDay. I said, Danny, play the video. Let's go. Philip, let's go. We went all the way to Asylum down and we shot that. And I salute them. I came back, I scripted it, I voiced it, we edited it and showed it the next day. It was a Wednesday. That's why I'm deciding to play it today. And we showed it on a Thursday for the first time on TV3NewDay. Now somebody is working on the drain that we complained about 7 years ago that nobody paid attention to, which was endangering the lives of the people. The tree that we complained about is being cut so that the electricity poles and the wires will not be endangered. And you sit somewhere and say, we are looking for appointment, because 7 years ago, was I looking for appointment? I'm not looking for appointments. As for my track record and my scorecard, you can't take it away from me. I've paid my dues in the industry. And so must it be. I have paid my dues. I have maintained my steez. I have kept it on. I don't need backing vocalists. I don't need them. I don't need them. I live in your head rent-free. I am in your head rent-free every single day. Call your creme de la creme. The work I've done, they haven't done a quarter of it. The work I've done, they have not done a quarter of it. Here ends my sermon. Please call me 055-924-2717.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything.
And if you want to get lucky as many times as you can to become part of those who will be winning 10,000 Ghana cedis this morning, it also means that as many times as you can, increase the number of tickets, all right, and become one of those lucky winners. For those who tend to join us, we're grateful as always. I see a couple of you already. Ruben Junior has joined Adegra, Mani, Ekuya Kwansa, as well as Prince Daniel York, Zealous Dwayne, all watching us from the UK. In Albany, New York, we have Kwesi Mensah, all of you. Please share the stream. Let's have some great one like Hamid Yusuf, as well as Augustine Otu, who is also watching us on the stream as well. Please, what do you make of all the things that we have to talk about? And it's foremostly the Office of the Special Prosecutor coming up with their latest statement on the cases they've been looking at over the last couple of years and months as well. Ken Oforiatta in the mix there, Cecilia Dapa, their position on that, as well as a number of others that are being investigated by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Very important for all of us. So please make sure you join us. And then the second lap, we'll be looking at the readiness of both parties, MPP, NDC, and MPP have already also elected their candidate who already is making inroads across. And you can clearly see him on social media, particularly when it comes to TikTok, having jamborees or speaking to the constituents as well, trying to put out his message as well. And the NDC also have a lawyer in place as their candidate following that primaries that was put together. And so make sure you stick and stay right here. Sherry Giovanni has also joined us, Kelvin Niashong, and Prince Henry Kofodria Ni Atukwekwe has also joined us. Share the stream. Let's have some great conversations thereof. Now, I'll be introducing our guest this morning. Before I do so, though, I saw a number of clippings in the newspapers. I thought, you know, I wanted to take a look at it as well. The graphic has on the front page. Not many times we tend to do this. We do it once in a while. So the graphic has on the front page. All right, so we have the Times, government allocating and some 403 million Ghana cedis to complete stalled colleges of education hospitals. So it has an attack picture of the Minister of Education. And then, of course, the inside story says Kenya President hails Zoom Lions waste as well. And Kenya's president applauds Zoom Lion also on the front page of the Business and Financial Times, as well as what it will take for cement prices to drop. The dollar is still under 11, so that's a good thing for when we talk about the prices, but we need some level of consistency within the period as well. So very important to do so. But let's come back to the studio and then talk about our key issues subsequently. All right, so I have Dr. Jebunti Zato, he's joined us. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Roland.
Right. Solo has traveled, but we have Philip London. Philip London, how are you, sir? Mr. London?
Very well, thank
you. Great. We'll be having Tanko Rashid Computer, who will be joining our CEO GIFEC, but also Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC as well. And Akwitia comes to mind very easily. So, but this is the Special Prosecutor and the current states based on a statement they've released so far, and then also briefing the media on the latest they have. We'll put that on the screens for you to know. And what you make of it also becomes part of the opinions you share on the show right here. So, well, let's have it on the screens as much as we can, but let me just... So we have key investigations and the development so far, especially when it comes to the service of Cecilia Dapa. They made a correction and said they didn't say there was no evidence as published by all of us as media, but OSP in collaboration with the FBI investigated Cecilia Dapa and associate for suspected corruption and corruption related, it has to be offenses, and concluded after 7 months. Now subsequently, that will be in July 2023, over 2 years ago. By January last year, the OSP had referred the case to IOCO to commence investigation because there was an element of money laundering and structuring, according to the OSP. And then also by May, subsequently, that will be about 5 months later, the Yoko returned the case docket to the OSP on the advice of the then AG, and there was no predicate offense. And same period, a year later, new leadership of Yoko requested for the docket from the OSP, and same was also referred to Yoko. And so it means that a case has gone back to Yoko as well. All right. And then there's a subject of Ken Oforiatta as well. He's been out of the jurisdiction. A number of reasons has been adduced or assigned by his representatives legally as well as family for his absence. And we know that a statement also has been issued to that effect. And the key issues he's been investigated for include petroleum minerals revenue assurance. We also have the ECG contract terminations, National Cathedral projects and the expenditure thereof, ambulance procurement, the GRA tax, Provident Fund management as well. And we have the periods for the case being investigated. We know that Ken Oforiatta wrote to former Chief of Staff seeking medical attention abroad. It has to be the opening period of this year before the handing over. So the date should be 2025, January 2, 2025. And then also we have January 22, where Ken Oforiatta wrote to current Chief of Staff Julius Debra, informing him of his absence from the jurisdiction, taking cognizance of his earlier application to the then former Chief of Staff, and before the close of January, his lawyers also wrote to OSP about his absence and whatever information they were seeking due to his illness, for which he cannot be available. OSP, of course, reacted and, of course, said that he was a fugitive, subsequently also withdrawn. And the case has since traveled. And traveling all the way. And we know that subsequently, by March, Ken Oforiatta's lawyers wrote to the OSP to draw the attention to the fact that the post declaring wanted was still on their website, but also there's been statement to the effect not only from his legal representative, but also his wife as well about his treatment abroad for specific ailments. And that's where we are currently. Dr. Jabunti Zato, I'm sure you perused the OSP statement. Yeah. What do you make of it generally?
Thank you. Good morning to you, and once again, good morning to our listeners. Oh, my friend Solomon is not here.
Yeah, so you're not feeling your vibe? Eh?
Yeah, I'm not feeling my vibe.
Okay,
you know, wherever is Solomon, we miss you. Come back early, okay? But he's going somewhere to chill. I hope he chills and comes back. I'm glad that the OSP has come out with these reports. I think he's just performing his constitutional responsibilities. He's supposed to publish this, and it's good. It's also good when you have agencies of the state providing updates, providing information, both qualitative and quantitative information to citizens, so that we get to understand and appreciate the work that they are doing. So on all that note, I'm happy, I'm glad that the OSP is doing that. I'm happy that he's not trying to create a rather opaque environment where he's working providing that. Secondly, I am on record here and elsewhere to say that I will never sit somewhere and say agencies of state, investigative agents of the state, should not investigate people suspected of corruption, no matter whom they are and no matter when it happens. The moment you are appointed as a minister of state, or the moment you are appointed to any public office, the day you raise your hand to take an oath of office, then you should also know that the day would come when you'll be held accountable. And I've preferred either regime accountability or post-regime accountability. So long as it is accountability, so long as people are being held accountable, I am for it, and I will never fault any state agency doing it. I've also said that if a state agency is abusing its coercive powers, weaponizing bail rather than using bail as a way to get information, and necessarily using bureaucratic red tape and means to detain people when they don't necessarily have to do that, In other words, when state agencies or if state agencies abuse their powers, I will also talk about it because I believe that in the democratic dispensation and considering how far we've come, it should be possible for state agencies to perform these duties without abusing the powers of people. So I've looked at some of the cases that they've talked about, but one stands out, and I think everybody understands that it is a Cecilia Dapa case. And this is what I think. If Akufo-Addo was in the Jubilee House now, and this report came out, people have invaded the Jubilee House right now with ticket torches. If Akufo-Addo was in power, and this report came out from the OSP about this investigation, especially about the FBI involvement, people would have chanted death to Akufo-Addo and death to the government.
How do you mean by that?
Because we saw it happen. We saw what happened. Akufo-Addo wrote a letter when, in fact, there's a popular saying in Ghanaian saying that give time some time. And right now, I'm beginning to see a lot of sense in that statement. Give time some time. If you remember, when he was writing the letter accepting the resignation of Cecilia Dapa, there's a part where he said, he was very specific that time will vindicate you, that he believed in her. People have said that there was a deep friendship between Akufo-Addo and Cecilia Dapa. People have said they've known each other for too long. I think they served together in parliament. So he was coming from a position of pain, but he also was coming from a position that he thinks he knows more and knows better. Today, the OSP is telling us that together with the FBI, Akufo-Addo was right. They have vindicated Akufo-Addo. That time, in the bosom of time, will reveal that Cecilia Dapa was not corrupt. In fact, this is the headline from TV3 itself on one of your handles. FBI found no evidence of corruption against Cecilia Dapa in respect of seized funds and frozen bank accounts. So the question is, and that's what I'm saying.
They have issued a statement, said it doesn't mean so.
Again, yes, I know they are doing that. It's revisionist. You issue a statement, you get a...
You mean from the OSP, it's revisionist?
It's revisionist. You issue a statement, people read the statement. Now you've gone back to now say that, well, you know, we didn't say she was, but we've read the statement was captured. Again, it also goes to why were you in a hurry to issue a statement? Why didn't you dot all your I's, cross all your T's before you issue the statement? Did you know that your statement you released had the potential of being misunderstood? Did you intentionally do it? Or after you release it, was there any external pressure put on you to correct what you are now trying to say that is a misconception? Either way, what is clear is that both the FBI and the OSP have indicated that when Akufo-Addo said the bosom of, in the course of time, Cecilia Dapa will be vindicated, he was right. People said he wrote a love letter to her. People said he had already cleared her before investigation started. A lot of vindictives, a lot of things were said about the then president. But time has proved that he knew what he was saying. Time has proved that he was right. Time has proved that what the civil society groups, NGOs, and the press said about the woman was not true. She was a victim, actually, that people stole her money. Look, the EOCO is still investigating this case, and we are all hoping and waiting to see what will happen. They are saying there are other aspects of the investigation. Go again and again, I am all for any forms of investigation that the state is doing. I'm all for the state saying that, look, if money, because see, corruption is a bane of development in this country. And anybody that's for corruption cannot be against state agencies doing their work and doing it very well. But for today, and on this particular issue, people must then sit down and then ask themselves, how did we get here? We got here because of extreme sensationalism. We got here because people do not take their time to understand this. And we got here because a president accepted resignation. Remember, there was something noble that happened. The woman resigned, or she was either pushed or she jumped. Either way, she took accountability for what happened. She was either pushed or she jumped. Let's let this investigation still continue. But today, when Akufo-Addo said time will exonerate her, when Akufo-Addo said time, she will be released, and when time comes on, people will see that she was not whom they said she was. This is time. Give time some time. We've given time some time. And these things keep telling us that maybe some of the things we said about corruption then were not true, were unfair, and that we were being unnecessarily harsh towards the then president.
Is it fair, the opinion he holds, that an ongoing issue that was reported is said to so-called vilify when it was an ongoing issue? It's only after investigations that you can make a determination, really, whether somebody was involved deeply or not. But this is also a politically exposed person, somebody holding a strong public office. Is that not the case?
Well, that is true. You see, and well, first of all, let me just say good morning.
Good morning to Mr. Landon.
Mr. Landon. Good morning, Mr. Landon.
And good morning to the viewers. I agree with all the principles you've stated about how state institutions must do their work and must be allowed to do their work. This case, like many of the cases that are under investigation, are cases that I personally feel very reluctant to talk about. Because, like in this case, which is very, in as much as it's a legal matter that is being investigated, it is also very political. There's no two ways about it. When the allegations came out, it was a sensational bombshell. The same way if today an appointee of President Mahama were to be found under similar circumstances and the news broke, it will be equally sensational. And the responses of the public will be equally the same. So that principle we must establish. Now, at the height of this matter, when of course being fundamentally a political situation because of the lady's political exposure, you hear very loud voices from political angles. So this just describes the mood in the country at the time. Yes, it is true that everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And yes, it was necessary for the president at the time, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, to issue a statement. But the statement that, or the letter that he wrote, in my personal view, was a little, he could have communicated his sentiments a bit differently.
You mean he should have been more formal?
Exactly. You see, if he had been a bit more formal, like the way my brother here has indicated, I don't think the issues would have been, or the reactions towards him would have been the same. I think it was a reaction from the presidency at the time that was not particularly so sensitive to the political situation that was ongoing in the country. So that was where things were not going well for the lady in question. And you see, with situations like this, there's a lot of prejudice. There are some people who, because of where they stand on the political angle, will never see anything other than what they see. And this has been the bane of our politics. You know, the objectivity and what we expect people to do in certain situations is clouded by emotions and sentiments, you see. So that is how things went. The OSPs, and of course, the way the communication has also gone with the OSP, from the OSP in there.
From the onset, related to this very subject matter?
Exactly. You see, the OSP's management of the situation too has in itself created some doubts and has not reinforced confidence in him. Because it has made people that because you say one thing today, you say something else tomorrow. You know, that kind of thing. So, and then sometimes the impression is created by the OSP that he is a victim.
Now you're a big man, you come late.
You see, so, you know, all these things haven't helped the situation. But if we are to look at this thing very carefully and take the facts as they are, yes, it is true. She's innocent until proven guilty. The facts as established are facts that have been established. And it is for her to defend herself, you know, through her counsel, her lawyers, etc., you know. But this matter, you know, it has been traveling in a way that is you know, it's an ongoing case anyway. So we are careful how we...
Because it's gone back to Iyoko.
It's gone back to Iyoko. It went to Iyoko. Iyoko responded. Now it's gone back to Iyoko again. The same Iyoko, but Iyoko of different personnel. All these things give a certain coloring to the whole thing, which if we observers are not careful, we then begin to, take positions that are not,
There are some who hold the considered view that the subject matter of the sums of monies that were found in the home of her as a leading cabinet minister, an experienced politician, then draws in public opinion, etc. And so that would have certainly compounded the issue or not. Of course, aside what has to be done lawfully. Does it not raise issues about lifestyle, etc., that needs to be audited, especially when people are politically exposed in a public office?
Well, you see, but in this particular case, I don't think there was any suggestion about lifestyle
audits
implications.
Yes,
there wasn't anything about their lifestyle that suggested that there was any excessive, But the fact of the matter is that once, and that is the misfortune about the reality of that situation. Once you are politically exposed, even if you have your own sincere money or whatever, in a situation where some of these things occur, it creates a certain impression that makes it more difficult for you to defend. So that is the situation which she finds herself, and that's how anybody else in that kind of situation will find themselves. Like I said, if tomorrow an NDC appointee was found under very similar circumstances, the reaction will be exactly the same. So it's not something that is being done against an MPP. It is Ghanaians' reaction to a situation, especially when, at that time, there was this heavy position of anti-corruption and the government doing so well and being so transparent and that kind of thing. So when something like this occurs, naturally, you get the kind of reaction.
So your conclusion is that it's just a natural reaction to order of things that happen in an incident.
And the issues that are coming up have to do with the management of the situation. Part of it has to do with the management of the situation by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. You see, like even this, in this report, the statement that was issued, within 24 hours, another statement has been issued to clarify. That would not have been necessary if the first statement had been very clear and unambiguous. So it is some of these lapses, okay, maybe I won't use the word lapses, but some of these situations, or the way the OSP has handled some of these situations, that has given rise to some of this type of speculation and suspicion.
Rashid Tanku Computer is here with us, CEO for GIFEC, but also a Deputy Director for Elections for the NDC. And thank you for joining us as well. So the Office of the Special Prosecutor issues a statement to clarify, including the headlines we even have given as well as a media house, as well as others, that the attention of the OSP has been drawn to headlines indicating that there was no evidence found no direct evidence of corruption. Now, at the end of the day, you peruse the statement and the conclusions you will draw, irrespective of what headline you put, is that, well, there's no linkage by way of efforts in the investigating process to gather evidence against the accused at the time, or the personality of Cecilia Dapa, that the monies that were found in a home, which were subject of a court case or a criminal prosecution in itself of her assigns or people who worked for her at the time, really were proceeds from corruption or corruption-related acts. And so those conclusions should be apt, is that not it?
Very well. Let me say good morning to you, Mr. London, and then Dr. Zaku, and the cherished viewers of Bimbilla constituency. I wish them well. My brother, this matter, we all knew of this matter long since. And we knew how the former administration tried to whitewash it. Even before investigations started, they had already issued love letter.
I don't understand.
When this matter came out initially, the then president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, issued a love letter to the lady and said she knew the lady was going to come out clean. She vouched for the integrity of the lady at that time.
What's your
point? It's a problem. When the investigative body was going to go into a matter and you issue such a letter ahead of that, what were you telling them? You were tying their hands. In law, there's something known as circumstantial evidence. See huge sums of money under your bed, your wardrobe. Is it not enough for enforcing agents, law enforcing agents, to go after you to find out why are you keeping such huge sums of money in your room when we have banks all over the place? Are you not surprised the city was suffering like that? When somebody was having bank in the room, all manner of currencies were found in that room. Huge currencies. You have euros, you have dollars, you have pounds. All the major currencies were found in the room. Huge sums. To the extent, even the lady herself didn't even know the amount of money stolen in the room. She didn't know. Because she lost track of the amount of money she was touching in the room. And so these are the things we are talking of. But the manner in which the former administration was handling the matter was a clever way of trying to whitewash it and allow her to get away. Interestingly enough, they put behind some innocent young girls behind bars. And they are warning them left and right that they were prosecuting them because of this.
Yes, it's a matter of stealing.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. But you see, the one who himself cannot tell the amount of money she has in the room. She couldn't even tell. She was having problem with, and I didn't even know how much was taken from me. I can't tell. The one belongs to my dead brother. Even to the extent, the dead brother, money was still going to the account. How can money be going into a dead person account day in, day out? That was what they tracked and saw all these things. So, thankfully, now Ghanaians were magnanimous to say, okay, if you can't investigate, we'll investigate them through ballot box. That's how Ghanaians did to them in 2024. To make sure that proper investigation goes through. That's why they lost the election. That's why I've been saying that a lot of things went wrong. The MPP is yet to find out why they lost the election. People were mad at that matter. Ghanaians were very mad about that issue. Because for the first time, seeing somebody touch such huge sums of money in the room under the bed and sleeping on top of it, while people were suffering and looking for just peanuts to start their businesses. I know where I'm coming from, and I know my brother, Dr. Zato, where we are coming from. With some 1,000 cedis, somebody business will blossom, just 1,000 Ghana cedis. It is enough for somebody business. When Dr. Zato went to give them football and other things, he added some small envelopes. They were happy.
You mean Sisala is?
I saw it. Is it not true? They were happy. You see, but somebody had this huge sum.
He went to donate.
Oh yes, he donated some brown envelope. There was
his primaries.
There was a brown envelope attached. Only the content we don't know.
The OSP should look at the envelope.
No, that's what we needed to. We could go into that one to later.
Okay, so your position is that the incident or the subject matter of the person itself aroused the curiosity of the public.
That is it.
So the prosecution or perhaps the investigations were warranted.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. It was, but the manner in which the former administration handled it was not the best. You could see how they were flip-flopping between OSP and the Yoku. And to the extent there was a banter between the two bodies as to who is to do this and who is to whitewash. They were ahead of them, but the OSP was on his feet and insisting that this matter, this is how it's supposed to go. In fact, he was saved by the ballot box. He was saved by the ballot box. These people were bent on removing him at all costs. Even the head press conferences, party leadership and all this were calling for his head because he was going after these people. Now, the ballot board has saved it, and we are dealing with this matter. So please, allow him to do the work. Let's investigate and come out with a proper report about this issue. Because, look, Ghanaians, by our nature, please, if you have money, share. Let people enjoy. And let the Ghanaian city stabilize as we have stabilized it. Don't go and put it in your wardrobe and be sleeping under it. That's the problem.
The OSP then, in their statement, do indicate that the FBI and their collaboration with the OSP come to a conclusion that there's no evidence linking any maybe embezzlement or money from other sources of public coffers to the evidence of the money that was found in this instant case. So as a result of that, well, the conclusion that some of us drew, for which we've been corrected by the OSP, is that this case is still ongoing. It's now gone back to Iyoko. And so the tag in itself doesn't mean there's any exoneration.
That's why I'm saying that it's a jurisdictional issue. The matter that the FBI is talking about is about the one.
Yes, the individual who was.
Yes, that's the matter that, not the one in Ghana here. We are talking about Ghana matter. So OSP is right. And me, I believe, look, the media, you yourself, you are not wrong. What you reported, what the FBI said, and it was perfect because it's a jurisdictional issue. But the matter we are dealing now is Ghana, internal matter here. The monies that we found were not found in any account. It was found in the room, under her bedroom and wardrobe. I'm told there was a full wardrobe that contained money. That was what was found there. And they used almost 72 hours to count the money. So you can imagine. So that is the issue we are talking about. And so it's not about this. So you were right. The media, you were right. You didn't report anything wrong about this. And then they always clarify it. And so that is a matter. At when they should allow Iyoko to do its work. Dr. Zako, don't stampede them. Allow them to do their work. And so that let's have a conclusion to this matter.
Okay, so the point being made is you don't have to go onto the street and say that she was not guilty after all. The matter hasn't come to any conclusive end.
Thank you very much. The money that was found in Sammy Jemfi's car, the money that she was spraying on Agrada like a rapper in the strip club in Las Vegas, where did that money come from? Did you investigate that money? In fact, in this particular case, she's been investigated. Let's make that point. She's been investigated by 2 regimes. She was being investigated under Akufo-Addo. She's not being investigated now. So far, under this investigation, you found absolutely nothing against her. She has gone through the mill, and she's still going through the mill of investigations. Money was found. Sammy Jemfi was seen spraying money only 3 months into administration. Cecilia Dapa, we can trace her political career. We can trace her being minister all the way, MP all the way through. Sammy Jemfi never held office. When Sammy Jemfi was communication director of NDC for 8 years, we've never seen him spray dollars. 3 months, just 3 months into administration, he was spraying dollars.
And Dr. Zato.
No, I just want to make a point. No, please, let me have this.
So
let's call for his investigation.
Dr. Zato, let's speak to the facts. Sammy Jemfi did not spray money. Sammy Jemfi gave a donation.
How much was it?
I think I'm told at 2,000 or something like that.
In dollars.
Wait.
Took money from his
to Agrada.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, in relation to the subject matter, this came up because Cecilia Dapa filed a complaint for investigations with the investigative bodies hearing the police that 2 or 3 of his former individuals who were in her employ had stolen money, and so the investigations were being undertaken. That's where whether it's rumor, the whole thing started.
I agree with you.
Now, the quantum of the sums of money that was also found, or she was talking about in that investigation, was also a subject matter linking her, because she was in public office, to where she got the money. That's where the genesis of all this started.
Agreed.
Okay, so the 2 situations could not be coterminous. I do understand that somebody is in public office, or both are in public office. Somebody gives money, and so the question about where did you get the money could come up.
Thank you.
Okay.
Exactly.
But then, is it not true that if you are alluding to that, the quantum and how much was it becomes a critical subject?
It does.
Irrespective of how long the person has served in public office.
Agreed. Perfect. Remember, I'm not questioning why Cecilia Dapa is being investigated. No. Okay. And I'm not saying don't investigate her, do that. Okay. But I'm making a point. My brother here, Tanko, was making a point that they found money under her bed. She could not count it. We saw Sammy Jemfi giving money to Agra. We saw that. We don't know how much money was. I don't know.
No.
We saw some. No, we don't know.
The Sammy say he didn't know the amount of money he was giving out.
I don't know. I'm saying, okay, let me say, I don't know how much money she gave. We saw Agrada reach out, collect all that money, go away. We don't know how much money it was. Are you saying that OSP should investigate Sammy Jemfi for that? Are you calling for Iyoko to investigate Sammy Jemfi for that? You see the hypocrisy I'm talking about. When it is Cecilia Dapa, she was being investigated when Akufo-Addo was still in power. She resigned. She resigned her office, and she was being investigated when MPP was in power. When it's Sammy Jemfi, no, she did not resign. Civil society organizations actually called that she should be suspended or punished a little bit. Nothing like that happened. You are happy with that. So look at this kind of animal farm justice system. If it's Cecilia Dapa, do the investigation. Yes, she's been doing it. She resigned the position. When it's Sami Jenfi, you are quiet. You are quiet because you know that if you say something against Sami Jenfi tomorrow, they will remove you from office. So I understand that you are protecting your job. But let's go back to the point here. What I'm saying is this. And we all must understand this point. Two main things about corruption were used against the NPP. For the 8 years, two things came to symbolize what was corruption in the NPP. One, the National Cathedral, and two, Cecilia Dapa. Whenever you mention corruption in the NPP, these two things were always mentioned as the symbol. So corruption got a face or a name under the NPP because of these two things. One, we have seen the report, the auditor report on the National Cathedral. No crime was committed. So far, that's what the report says. No financial crime committed. One. Two, we've also now seen the OSP saying that in the Park case, no crime was committed. So we couldn't say that even though these cases were sensational, even though these cases were overbloated, no crime has so far been committed in either the National Cathedral or in this particular case. And that they have been investigated and they are still being investigated. That means that the claims of corruption in these two cases was only the claims, and they were only what? Sensationalism. And that is the point. So my point today, if you are sitting down here and you are saying, let's investigate, Mr. Rashid Tanko, will you also call for a full-scale investigations of the financial edition involving Sami Jenfi? Would you do that? Let's keep the principle going. If the principle is that you are in government, we see money under you, we need to find out where the money came from. Are you suggesting, are you proposing, will you raise your hand today and say, in the name of that principle that you are a public office, you shouldn't keep this amount of money with you? Are you saying that we should investigate Samuel Jenfi? Are you saying that too? Because you cannot say, on the one hand, investigate Cecilia Dapashi was corrupt. But when it comes to Samuel Jenfi, let's leave it like that, it's okay. You cannot do that. Okay, how do you know? What is the fairness in this case? You don't do that. It's not fair.
An invitation, 1 minute. Okay, invitation, 1 minute. Okay. You see, on principle, I'm on principle. You went and did donation.
Yes.
Football and an envelope.
Yes, I did.
Nobody know the content of the envelope.
No, nobody does.
So should we investigate you?
You do. I'm a public office. Yes,
so
you do.
Donations.
I'm not. I don't hold public office. Do I hold public office? Do I hold public office?
You see, so that's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's a problem.
Our laws doesn't only affect public officials.
Okay,
it's for the constitution are holding.
So investigate
politically exposed persons.
Hold on.
No, I agree. Investigate me.
I am saying, Roland.
Should we also investigate Samuel Jenfi?
Roland. Let's me tell my brother. Donations.
I've donated to Yekin Dolu Football Club in Kusinga.
I've donated. Even when I go out right now, people will rush after me when they know I'm around.
Yes.
And I donate generously. Okay, Ghanaians by our culture, donation. That's why we are saying that to regulate donation in Ghana, it will be a difficulty. Because even if I go to greet chiefs in my community, interesting enough, they donate yams to me. They give me yam and guinea fowl. He knows it. So with that one,
do you share them with me?
You know our culture.
When is Sami Jenfi? You are whitewashing. When is the party to investigate?
I am saying that. You see, these are two incongruous matters. Somebody has asked for fuel, and I pull out something from my pocket and give the person, okay, you can take this one and buy fuel. And another person has opened a bank account in her room and stashing money, all manner of currencies in that wardrobe. You are here comparing that one. Dr. Sadu, how can you do that kind of comparison?
I'm saying that. The God of Cecilia Dapai is a living God.
Okay.
Their gods are living.
Okay. So his position is that at the end or in the long run, she has been exonerated. So to speak. All right. Even though the subject matter is still before you.
Please. This is the first time I'm meeting you. Please.
You like him, eh?
I like everybody.
Okay.
You know, when we started this conversation, I was saying that this matter has become a political issue. Look at where the conversation has got to. Sami Jenfi gave money to somebody. My brother here is giving an example of himself as how he, just like nearly all politicians do, including Dr. Zato himself, give money out. That is not the issue. We are talking about a case for which the special prosecutor has come out with a statement. This case came about because the lady in question made a report herself to the police about some of her own staff. In the course of the police investigation, they found out that the charges for which she had actually taken her staff to the police were even more beyond that, because the police investigation was coming out with a lot more things, in the process, the staff in question also started coming up with a lot more things. So the investigation now took a different turn altogether, culminating in the explosive
nature of the case.
Of the case. That so many, and of course, all kinds of exaggerations about how many millions it was, how many millions it was. Nobody really knows. Some say it took 72 hours to count. Somebody said it took 3 days to count. All kinds of things. You understand what I'm saying? So that is the issue. And the OSP has been handling this matter. There were issues. And I still maintain that if the original and initial communication from the presidency at the time had been a bit more sensitive to the political situation in the country at the time, I think this case would have been, the way it would have gone would have been different. Not that the outcomes would have been different, but the way it was handled. Because it immediately began to, like my good brother here said, suggest some prejudicial situation, about it, that she has virtually been vindicated, which may not have been the intention of the president at the time, but that was how it was communicated. So when some of these things come, instead of the actual facts being handled, then all the politics come into it, making the facts. What it is now is that she has not been vindicated. And this is a clear statement from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The investigation is still ongoing. IOCO is still, as a body, still investigating the matter. So all we have to do is to just wait.
Do you think that with all these allusions that are being made, on the other side of the political divide, Zato's side, there's exoneration, so to speak. We told you, what's the favorite quote now? Give time.
Some time.
Give time some time. And the subject matter also from Rashid's end is that it's still with Yoko, and so really we don't have clarity on whether or not. But so far, investigation not leading or linking any evidence that this was ill-gotten, so to speak.
No, the investigation has not been concluded. I mean, what are the charges? Is it corruption? Is it money laundering? Is it theft? Is it what? The investigation is ongoing. And once the investigation is ongoing and the state bodies that are in charge of this investigation have not concluded the investigation, who am I or anybody to draw a conclusion on it? All we have to do is to wait for the bodies who we all know are competent enough to do their investigation and come out with their findings. When they come out with their findings, and any party is unhappy with the findings that have come out, there are processes whereby they can challenge it or, appeal those outcomes. But for now, the facts are established. These monies were found, the investigation is ongoing, and various statements were made as to where the money was coming from, how some of it has been challenged, the investigation is ongoing. So if we are talking about this matter, we don't start talking about National Cathedral. The National Cathedral, nobody has been vindicated. Nobody has said, so we don't bring in that matter for now. This is what we are talking about, and this is what it is. Sami Jemfi gave money out to some people. He was caught on a camera. If anybody has just cause to believe that there was some corruption involved, that person should just go ahead and make
file complaint. For that to be initiated.
And that's all. You see, but this type of politicking, where just accusation.
You think Zato and they do buga buga?
You see, donate a lot. They are friends. My information is that they used to play football together and that kind of thing. So maybe it's the same thing they are doing. We are talking about this thing, and they think they are on the park, they're kicking balls against each other.
Very interesting point.
Very well. You see, what I do know is that clearly,
because the case is not over.
Yeah, we should allow
the case is not over. That's all.
To bring a conclusion to this.
That's it. Then we can talk about it.
So that we can talk about it. But nobody has been exonerated from it. And then I don't know why they are so elated to go public and say it's exonerated and all that, knowing very well that the matter as of now, where is sub judice, we will just allow that one.
That's it.
Allow them, and then let's see what comes out of it.
Okay.
What I want to say is that principles are...
No, you spoke already. You spoke first. Principle. You add it to your next one. There's a subject matter which has become a very topical issue, and it's about the activist raffle. And the incident happened at the hospital, the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, former Ridge Hospital. and on one side, the Association of Nurses as well as the midwives raising concerns about treatment. The doctors also have come in. The Minister of Health has indeed come in and says that the Security Authority should continue with investigations thereof. And then on the other hand, there are also members of the public, including Raffle himself, who says that sometimes the treatment they get from health workers, nurses, doctors, among others, when they go to the hospital, is just not the best. Begin this subject matter for me. I mean, the general issue about the attitude of health workers, but also all of us not having the empathy on the problems that they face, because they clearly have acute issues.
In this simple case, abuse of power.
Who is abusing power?
Empowered drunk.
Who is abusing
has
power?
Not found in him.
Okay.
In the face. Both the man and the Minister of Health have demonstrated where the alliances are.
What do you mean
by
that?
The Minister of Health has rather chosen to embrace this activist and not take the side of...
What do you mean by embrace the activist?
He hugged him. We saw him hug him.
Okay, so, Koko, do you have the video there? So, the minister walked in, then Raffle rather went to him, and there was some level of... So, it's not as if the minister brazenly was the one who was trying to embrace.
Was there some amount of hugging or embrace?
Huh?
Was there some amount of hugging or embrace?
No, what's your point with that? That's a question, really.
So let me make my point. Abuse of power and power drunkenness are the two things that were demonstrated here. Somebody walks into your workplace. We are sitting down here. Somebody walks into our workplace.
You're talking about the activists.
The activists. You walk into our workplace.
Koko, put the video there, okay?
You walk into our workplace, and probably either you were not given the health care, because from the video, it seems that his hand was treated. He was treated. You know, happen. Now, you can be angry there at people and start causing trouble. We can understand that. Maybe something there made you angry. Somebody there made you angry. Somebody caused you, and you are a human being. They could say you overreacted. That is one aspect. That is how we understand it. But you live there. You go out, and then you come back with a group of people. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a criminal investigator. But I think there's something called premeditation. It means you premeditated. It means you came back with a purpose of what? Causing mischief and causing harm. You come back then, and then you attack people in an emergency. Every single person in an emergency there is in their most vulnerable of states. They are the most vulnerable people there. You come there and you attack these very, very vulnerable people. In the course of the process, a nurse has been attacked, and that nurse was rather receiving treatment at her workplace. All this caught on video. And then the person is not arrested. And then today, the person is not before a judge. And then we are told that we are going to set up a committee to then investigate what? We are setting up a committee to investigate what? Somebody walks there, assaults people, and goes home free. The person is going home, the nurse is receiving treatment, and you are saying we want to investigate what? And then you will see, and that is the point I'm making. Look, this health minister has a track record. We saw what happened in Tamale Teaching Hospital. We saw what happened during the negotiations for the nurses' strike, when the nurses went on strike. And we've seen it now. There's the general penchant not to come out fully to defend the people he's supposed to defend. In this case, the nurses that work under him. There's a general penchant to this case.
I want to wonder, are you saying the health minister created the incident?
No.
Because this incident is a public service customer relation disputes.
It's not.
Okay.
It's violence.
So,
it's simple violence.
Yes.
Violence.
And at the heart of it is an element of so-called assault, so to speak.
Exactly.
Okay.
So those are the elements.
Now, as an academic, do you agree that where an intended or a supposed crime is a subject matter, it has to be investigated by the authority and not the Minister of Health?
When it's a supposed crime, but this was not a supposed crime. This was not a supposed crime.
There's an assault.
Yes. And when is an assault a supposed crime? You came to the place, the nurse was sitting there working. You went out and you came out with a number of people. That's still a fact. Then those people, because that nurse wasn't receiving treatment because of the nurses that were in the emergency or because of the doctors. No. It's because you brought in those people. Those people have no business.
So we've all have seen the video.
Yes.
Would you say, if you were there, irrespective of whether you were captured on video being beaten or not, this has to be in the hands of the investigative bodies?
If I was there, and you're saying that right now...
No, I'm asking a specific question.
Which is?
Let's say you are the nurse. You've been assaulted. Okay. Let's say you have it on evidence in video. Would you say that the police will have to take it up?
I would say the police need to make an arrest.
Okay.
Assault is a crime. The nurse says she was assaulted.
So why don't you leave it for the police to deal with? Instead of making those conclusions as a minister and...
We are analyzing the situation, and you are asking me, and I'm telling you, there was a crime that we committed. A nurse was assaulted. The nurses was assaulted. There were eyewitnesses who saw the assault happen right there.
So you leave it to the police to investigate?
So what are we discussing now?
No.
I'm telling you how I understand the situations. And I'm telling you that my conclusion is that if this man was not politically connected, so deeply connected to the health minister and other people, he should have been arrested by now. That's my conclusion. Because that is the only reason why you don't go to somebody's workplace. The person is working with most vulnerable people who are on the sick. Because of arrogance, because of political power, you go and you assault the person, and now we are investigating.
Well, we are trying to get the health minister online to get...
Meanwhile, a nurse is fighting for her life. I mean, in what kind of jurisdiction do you do that?
Well, Roland, first of all, I want to condemn the action of that young man and the attack on the nurse. I condemn it outright. It is unfortunate that such a terrible situation that has occurred has also now taken a certain type of political angle. For me, there are more serious issues to this matter. Now, the accusation is that this young man is out there free as we speak on this program this morning. I don't know where he is, whether he's been arrested or not. But what is said out there is that he's out there a free man. The Nurses and Midwives Association has given the minister 48 hours to ensure his arrest. I want to appeal to the minister to ensure that that arrest is done within 24 hours. Within 24 hours. Now, it has not been established that there existed a relationship between the minister and this young man, for which purpose he had the audacity to do what he was doing. All that has been established is that when the minister appeared on the scene, the allegation is that the young man embraced him, or there was an embrace. As to the nature of the embrace, I don't know. Politicians are often embraced, so I do not. That cannot be established.
So those conclusions should not be made. And you think that's at the heart of the politicization?
It is part of the politicization.
Does it need to stop?
It has to stop, and people should take the politics out of their eyes and look at the issues for what they are.
What are the issues?
The issues is that the young man had the audacity. First of all, he was indisciplined when he came to the hospital and the nurses were treating him. Fine. A lot of people, when they go to hospital, they may be in a certain state of emotion that they may not be too rational. It's understandable. Somebody is in extreme pain, somebody is in extreme emotion because of something that's happening to somebody else or whatever. So those situations are understandable. The medical professionals are trained to handle people in those type of situations. So this lady, the nurse, tried her best. According to her side of the story, she had treated this young man who had an injury on his finger. The blood was dried, and she gave him some temporary relief and, assistance. Now, according to her, there were other more serious trauma cases that were ongoing that she had to take some of her time off to go and attend to. This young man felt he was being neglected and got upset. In that state of his upset, I don't know how soon after and what happened in between, this young man, who apparently is supposed to be a blogger or somebody, he has a lot of social media following or whatever, went out there.
He's an activist.
Activist, very well. And activized followers and came into the hospital to attack the what do you call it? The medical staff. For me, so having condemned it and having established these facts, I appreciate the fact that the minister has asked for has indicated an investigation for 5 days, within 5 days. Yes, that investigation should take into account a lot of other factors. Because according to this nurse, She noticed a lot of her colleagues running away, only to find out that there was a mob coming and there was no way she could escape. And she was attacked, and other patients who were in the emergency ward suffered. So investigation within 5 days should establish so many things. How those people had access, how vulnerable, even the arrangement in the furniture, in the emergency situation, how it was all done. All those things will go into the investigation. But for me, what is even more challenging is the fact that an activist can walk out of a facility, go and incite people to come and attack.
What's your point with that?
It is a national security concern.
The hospital is a public place.
It is a public place, but it is still a facility where people are doing their job. Where there's a public place, where people are, is a church or where a public park or wherever. A man who can just mobilize people to come on rampage. What can't he do?
So what actions should the security agencies be taking now,
First of all,
based on your own observation?
Oh, my observation is the security agency should investigate this matter carefully. First of all, how did he get those injuries? What was he up to? What was he doing? How could he mobilize those people in such a short time? These are things that we should be very concerned about. We have an election coming up in a very volatile area. National security must be very concerned about some of these things. So a person like that should be, and I believe that the problems we have in Ghana at the moment, when people present themselves like this, they should be made a good example of. The fact that you are a blogger, you have use it for good, not for things like this. So he should be dealt with, he should be arrested. And I'll urge the minister, especially since, parallels are being drawn that they say the minister went to Tamale Hospital, the minister said, these are our allegations. This is an opportunity for him to vindicate himself. He should have the guy arrested within 24 hours. And we should see that he's actually played a part to help. You see, because sometimes when you're a politician, sometimes you need to do these things because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, no matter how good your intentions, the other side will look at it differently.
Which side?
The other side of you, whichever political side you are on. Okay. There's always another side. That other side might choose to look at your intentions in a completely different way for political reasons. So when certain situations occur, it is an opportunity for you to also take actions for the avoidance of doubt, to clear whatever,
Rashid, this is a situation that has taken a public opinion 10. The public seem to side with Ralph on one hand, that, well, when they enter the facilities, sometimes the treatment and the reactions...
That is no justification.
Yes. And then also, so that is fueling public opinion against maybe the nurses, etc. But clearly, an incident has occurred. We've had responses from the victim, who is a leading nurse at the hospital, where an action has been taken because there's been a misunderstanding of an action based on discretion that was taken by somebody who is empowered as a health officer to treat which cases, whether it's A, B, or C at the time, within the circumstances that they have. How do you think we need to look at this?
Roland, you see, thankfully enough, Honorable Akando, the health minister, is a fantastic young man. He has a mastery of the subject area of which he's handling. Look, he has the welfare of nurses, doctors, and other allied health workers at heart. He pays them visits unannounced. Last week, he visited a lot of facilities around Accra here and took on board their concerns, how to make their life better. I'm telling you, he's one of the best on the job. One of the young guys His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has appointed, and the gentleman eyes on the ball. So, look, politicians, as we are, when you go out publicly, you cannot refuse hacking and shaking. It's part of our job. All manner of person comes to you. You shake them, they hack you. They are Ghanaians. You have to save them. You can't say because I'm a politician or a minister, no, nobody should come near me. Nobody should hack me. Roland, we are not in Afghanistan or Somalia. That is what my brother Dr. Zato wants us to behave. He wants us to behave in a way that we should ask the people who put us into power not to come near us. Nobody is going to behave that way. They voted us. They want us to govern them. So anytime the minister is coming and somebody come closer to the person, should the minister say, go away, don't come near me? It doesn't act that. Even socially, culturally, our life doesn't allow that. Our own culture doesn't allow that. So the fact that the gentleman hugged the minister is non-starter, Dr. Zatu. That one there, erase it. It's not an issue. Agrada hugged the president. Agrada is cooling off there. We had a program and Agrada came there. They were worshiping. She came closer to the president and hugged the president.
The National Day of Prayer.
The National Day of Prayer. The following way, Agrada is cooling off somewhere. Does that stop the law agencies from dealing with her? The fact that you have hugged me doesn't mean that it will exonerate you from what action you have taken. It's an issue we have to look. This problem is orientational problem. And I think we need to orientate both sides.
The public
and
the health workers.
Okay. It's an issue we need to take seriously. I have visited several health facilities and I've seen fantastic nurses. Look, the way they will talk to you, that one they do, about 50% of your disease is gone before even they start. Others, the way they will receive you, if you don't take time, you run and leave the hospital. Because if you don't take time to compound, but don't forget they're also human beings. See, they also have problems from their home that will bring them to the hospital. So if you are not lucky and she has issue with the husband and all that, she will pour that issue on you. That's the problem.
Because it's a human situation.
It's a human institution. So sometimes there are two issues that we need to look at critically. And I believe, like the discretion you were talking of, who to treat first, A, B, C. Because the doctor, they know the veracity of your issues. And then they'll say, okay, yours is, we can manage for now, but this man is something else. Let's deal with that one. But you will not understand. You think that, no, that should be dealt with. But sometimes they need explanation. Not that an activist as such. Look, anytime I go to hospital, sometimes I hide my identity. Because sometimes when you open up yourself, it's like you are intimidating them to do something for you. No. So even a friend of mine, I went to bank and I was seated in the line. He came and asked, but why are you sitting? I said, allow me. Let me join the line. I want to enjoy sitting with the people and whisper, hear what they are saying about
government.
My government and then what else. You see, it's sometimes these are the things we need to, and we need to let the public understand this. So to condemn the young man, maybe he didn't understand the situation under which they asked the gentleman to sit while they deal with the other. He needed explanation. Okay, the other side could have been an indiscretion. But to think that the minister is allowing this, no, Dr. Zato. We have a very fine gentleman as a minister. He's doing the job fantastic. He's helping.
Now he's called for investigation.
Yes, of course, that is the right thing. The right thing is to call for him because he is not to do the investigation. He called that and he said a committee to look at it, investigate the matter, so that they will see, look, there's a security, a porous security architecture in the hospital. The investigation will expose it, so that they will beef up security around that place. So whoever is coming in there, the security will stop the people. That one, let's allow investigation. Dr. Zato is going to give you clinic in your place. So you have to look at that. But the minister is on top of his job. He's doing it. And I can assure you, these things that we are talking about, let's not politicize it. Not everything that we put politics into it. Otherwise, we'll miss the point. And we don't want to miss the point. We want to make sure that we have the best of health service, and the minister is doing justice to that. He's following through it. And it's helping a lot of this. That's why we are appealing to the allied health bodies who have issued threat that they will go on strike. No, they shouldn't. They should listen to the minister, and that action will be taken. That's why he called for the investigation. In doing this, it will even bring out more revelation about some of the issues in there. And so let's allow that one to go on. Let's not just jump the gun and think that, oh, Rambo style, go and arrest them, put them down. No, we don't do that.
Okay. Yeah. There's an incident, and Benjamin Tufomenu, thank you for drawing. I saw this also about a week or so ago. You know, in the UK, the former Prime Minister, David Cameron, was sacked out of a facility. I watched it last week, and then by a doctor. The health worker said, look, go out. He wouldn't budge. And then a doctor came in to sack him out of the facility. So is it not a subject matter of the minister also trying to meet the health workers halfway, as well as making sure, because clearly if you gauge public opinion, I mean, just by an observation survey, etc., they seem to be on the side of the activists because they feel that treatment usually they are given at the health facility is not right. But at the same time too, you cannot go and assault a professional in his or her workplace just because
you feel you're not
yes, maybe
so. Roland, that's why I'm saying that we need to orientate the health workers, the young ones, and then the public about these two issues. One, you see, social media. Social media. I want somebody to research on that. Social media, vis-a-vis health, this thing, doctors are to you people are in academy. Social media and how it is impact on health delivery in their hospitals. It's a serious matter. You go there, people are glued to their phones. You are even talking to the person, and the person is on social media. Or instead of you to looking at somebody on the sick bed, the person is enjoying TikTok and other things. So we need to orientate which time are you supposed to be on social media? And which time are you supposed to dedicate your time to the people who are coming in and listening to them? Our time, when we started from the 70s, 80s, it was lovely meeting the doctors, the way they will handle you in the facility and all that. You enjoy even want to go back again. But these days, you go there, what you see there.
Okay.
Because of things have changed. So we need that kind of orientation. Okay. And I'm sure the leadership will take it up. The minister is trying to resolve this matter, and he's doing fantastic. Let's support him.
All right. So a number of messages are already coming in. Our own regular panelist, good friend as well, political aide to Alan John Kojo Chairman Ting, who, though, according to the amnesty statements, has been asked to rejoin the party. And so, but he has to apply, of course. And then, so we have a number of messages. So Nani Alsapong says, let us condemn without any reservation the actions of the gentleman and the people who attacked them. The nurses do not provide these infrastructure for the services being provided. To attack, injure, and still have the guts to speak with impunity. These nurses work according to the standard operating procedures by these facilities. If we are calling for a review of the SOPs, let's do that, but not to blame the implementers of these SOPs. Now, also tell Mr. Tanko that ignorance is no excuse to baloney. The minister shouldn't be dragged into this at all. He did nothing wrong. He rather came in to save a situation. And so trying to drag him into a clear social issue which has a public policy bearing, which he has a role to play, should be the right thing. Rather, the police should act swiftly. And then I have this one also coming from Ablade Fiakum. Said the rich hospital management should go to the police station, report, and stop giving government hours. Government didn't send anyone to come there and cause problems. The minister came in rather to resolve an issue. How does he become a subject of the assault of a health worker and then somebody who wants treatment and is dissatisfied with the service he's receiving from public officials at the hospital? Interesting point. All right. Prince Ania York says, if they have already lodged the complaint to the police should act, and the GRNMA should let the police work, not the government. They should put in a request to meet the minister, but demanding what they are currently is just out of order. Interesting point there. This one is coming from Oseboating in Kumasi, who says that, I'm surprised at Dr. Zato's posture, clearly trying to score political points in an issue which all of us need to take a critical look at. When we go to the hospital, sometimes the reaction of the nurses and the doctors is not the best. We all know that. Yet we know that they are working under circumstances which is difficult. Poor equipment at the facilities, low remuneration, and then at the same time also frustration from us, the public who come for treatment. Put myself in the situation of Ralph. If I was injured needing treatment, I would still be psychologically in that state. If I took an irrational decision and thereby went ahead even to assault a nursing professional, that should be a police case. How does it become that a minister who walks in or barges in and then is hugged by Ralph becomes an issue that he is friendly to Ralph? Are you saying the minister is not friendly to his own staff who have been assaulted by Ralph at the same time and even had the time to interact with them? Why are we trying to politicize every issue? The minister has been doing great work so far. He's proactive. Even by his presence at the hospital shows that he's thinking about the welfare of the health workers that he's managing. Not everything should be politicized. All right. And then this one is coming from Prosper, who says, I feel very sorry for Dr. Zato and his students, if that is how he has to explain theories and situations to them. How do you say that a minister who comes to a facility to resolve an issue becomes a subject of this crisis? If police and investigative bodies have to investigate an act or omission by Ralph, why not let them do it? The minister with policy standard operating procedure has no option than to request for the investigations, but more so constitute a committee to investigate the circumstances. Prosper continues, where the committee comes up with an action plan that security should be improved at all public hospitals, and then also there should be more training for health personnel on customer service and reacting and relating to service consumers. That will also be a good one for policy implementation at all public health facilities. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Then he said, Dr. Zato, you can do better. Don't always politicize issues. Okay. Mark, we see, I've seen yours as well. How can anyone decide to link the minister to this lawlessness? Ralph's action was unlawful and must be dealt with according to the law. Let's not politicize this in any way. Didn't we see Dr. Baumia Hagen, somebody who threatened to decapitate alongside his followers on TikTok the head of the president and the wife as well, and the subject of a police case? All right. Okay, so Manini Mani also says, ask for me. I shall ask what for. Okay, I've seen it. Okay, you said the OSP also, we need nurses should be arrested for neglecting patients. Yeah, okay. Okay, you say, okay, so Manini Mani says that, do we also say the nurses should be arrested for neglecting patients? Well, so important points also being made there. We try to get to the minister. Let me read one last one. Please tell the government to start committing scandals. Kindly tell the government to start committing scandals and blunders so that Dr. Zato can get some iota of incident for equalization, because he's trying so hard, clutching at straws, even bringing in Sami Jemfi's reference. Sami Jemfi was in office a month or two. How does it become a subject matter of just giving out notes to Agrada? It's a long time you read my message, except as I read your message. Okay, now let's do some conclusions here on subject matter. How do you think this needs to be dealt with adequately? Just 2 minutes on the subject.
It's a popular saying or refrain in government that never set up a committee unless and until you know the findings of that committee. It's a popular saying. It's going, in fact, it was ingrained, especially in British parliamentary democracy.
Please say that again.
Never set up a committee. The government never set up a committee unless and until you know the findings of that committee. No government set up a committee in darkness. Sometimes these committees...
No, wait. Are you saying that the practicality of you set up a committee? If you know the conclusion, why do you set up the committee?
Exactly.
Would you say that your utterance is academic?
So let me explain. Okay. You set up the committee, one, to while away time, to de-escalate public anger, and to give people time to move to the next story. Look, in this city and this town, we are chasing headlines, we are chasing story. Tomorrow there's going to be a shiny subject, a shiny headline. We'll move from it and forget about this issue. And then before you realize, it goes in the dustbin with all the other issues. That is why mostly, so I'm saying that it's a popular political refrain. Never set up a committee until you know the findings. In this particular case, I stand with the nurses. In this particular case, I stand with the doctors. In this particular case, I stand with the nurse that was victimized, the nurse that was brutalized, the nurse that was harmed. I pray and hope that the nurses do not carry out their strike action. I pray and hope that the nurses come back. I also pray that the Ministry of Health provides them some amount of psychological counseling. I provide it because look, everybody, your workplace must be safe. We talk about workplace safety all the time. Journalists go out to work and we pray that nobody assaults them. And we see those assaults going on. That is their workplace. Traders go out to work and we see them being assaulted. The last thing we want as a country to add to this list is nurses, ordinary health workers, who are at their place treating the most vulnerable in our society, for them not to feel safe, for them not to feel welcome in where they work. Workplace safety is a very important, it's a very critical issue, and all of us must make it possible and must do everything we can to make sure that when workers go out in a place, it should be safer for them. So that's my message. So please, nurses, I pray and hope that you don't see this as representing all of us. I pray and hope that you're able to put this behind you and come back with the professionalism, with the commitment, and with the dedication that you have. I pray and hope that you're able to come back having received orders. I also plead with the management of the hospital to reach out to these nurses, to reach out to this healthcare professional and provide them with all the trauma counseling they need so that they will come back and be better prepared and safe to keep saving on lives. I stand with the nurses and I stand with the doctors, and I hope the right thing is done. Who do you stand with?
Oh, I mean, in this case, I stand with everybody else except the young man who committed this terrible act of indiscipline, and I think he should be dealt with, and but just it should be dealt with decisively to be a disincentive to others who might be.
What do you make of the politicization?
The politicization of it is most unfortunate, and it's one of the banes of this country. When something happens, instead of us looking at it squarely and effectively, we immediately go political about it. It's the most unfortunate. It doesn't help our development as a country. It is actually setting us backward. When we are supposed to be thinking properly, because of politics, we simply start thinking in a way that is totally unacceptable. I think we must make, no matter where we stand on any political side, I think we must make it a point to look at things very objectively and deal with it as such. I was saying, so how long did it take the minister to come after this incident? Was he around? Then I just remembered that the head office of the Ministry of Health is about 500 meters away.
Yeah.
That also is I think it is a compliment to the minister. I mean, the fact that his office is there doesn't necessarily mean that he had the time. I mean, Roland, the office is here. But if something happens, that doesn't mean that you can just get up right now and go because you are busy doing something. But the fact of the matter is that the minister was able to move and respond so effectively. I think it was a credit to him. It's a credit to him. So I think we should look at that positive side of it as against, and like we all agree, politicians, all three of us here. I mean, we all know how it is when we meet people. That's how it is. So that should not be used. But unfortunately, because of politics, somebody will just want to use that as a discredit against him. No. And then forgetting that when you use that against somebody, it will come back to hurt you because you also find yourself in the same situation. So then where is the principle? We should look at the facts and deal with it. Because for me, I mean, emergency wards are always on the ground floor of a hospital and have ready access to the public so that when patients and emergency situations arrive, they quickly get to the operating areas. So it's unfortunate that these people breached that situation and attacked the nurses. The consequence of this is that they might put certain situations in place not to make the place so accessible to people, even in the case of emergency. So I think we must condemn it, and I commend the minister. And I hope this person is arrested within 24 hours. That's what I'll say.
Well, Roland, this matter is not about whose side one is or whose side one is.
Okay, so Claire, my question is, what now needs to be done? What should prevail in the public opinion discussion platform so that
what is happening
who
is
heads prevail?
That's why I'm saying that the direction of which the minister has taken, the committee to investigate this matter, maybe a lot of things has happened that it didn't come to the public domain. This investigation will bring it out. The report will bring it out. So the minister has taken the right decision on this matter. Unfortunately, my friend Dr. Zatu was saying that hacking the man because the man came and hacked him. Somebody went and hacked Dr. Baumia. After issuing threat to kill the president, the sitting president and the family. So that principle, Dr. Zatu, how are you going to describe it? Get a term for it.
Which principle?
The principle of hacking politician.
You mean fancy comedy hacking, Dr. Baumia?
That's it. He made a principle here. And I say I want him to give a title to that principle. So I will take it on board. The gentleman minister went to a facility and somebody came and hacked him. And that one, Dr. Zatu is saying that the minister could do to that. It appears the minister is parcel of that action. And I'm saying that comedy said he should kill the president and the family. And that the president should have been in the aircraft. Is that not what the gentleman said? The police arrested him. Dr. Baumia, His Excellency, I'm told he paid for the bill and everything. The man went and they hacked him, they embraced him and shook him hand, and they took pictures all over. So what is the title of your principle now?
Should I answer?
I'm saying it's a rhetorical question for you. You can put it on.
No, I get 2 minutes. You talked about hag. So
I am saying that these are the issues. Let's not go that path. Because we are politicians. That one day shouldn't come in at all. Let's allow the minister to do his job. He's a fantastic young man. I like the way he's handling the ministry. Look, very proactive. When issues happen, you see him there. He's the first to appear in that place. So that you just handle, because he's a minister, he's not the armchair type. Sit in the office and then say that bring me a report or people come and brief me. No, he will go there. You know, he's from a Western North. And so he understands the nature of human culture. And don't forget, he's been a ranking member in that committee for a very long time. And so he knows what he's doing. Dr. Zato, your people should support him and stop doing politics.
Which people?
Otherwise, the NPP, I'm saying that this, their 87, want to reduce it. And they are still doing the
want to reduce?
Yeah, we'll reduce the 87.
You'll go to Akwetia?
Of course, and we'll take the seat. We are going to win.
How do you draw those conclusions? You haven't seen their candidate, very strong, man.
Our candidate is stronger than him. Our candidate is our secretary, constituency secretary, is a lawyer who is doing pro bono for the community. He's been a YEA director in the constituency. They know him. He's known everywhere in that constituency.
In Akwetia. People say they don't see him campaigning.
The ballot box will prove it.
Said, you wait and see.
All right,
they are begging us. I don't know the people begging that we shouldn't go to Akwetia. NPP, they are begging NDC not to come.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
But
Charlie, can I wind back the...
That's what they are doing. They are begging
the clock of time, so that I have 20 minutes for this.
Yes.
Anyway, Stephen Penningwa has a message. He says the code of conduct for politically exposed persons include showing humility and respect to all manner of persons. The blogger who allegedly hacked the minister for all we know, the minister may or may not know him. But then, even if he knows him, he's also a Ghanaian, even if he committed an act or not. Dr. Zato, do not politicize everything and forcefully, like you're always doing. You are from my respected and lovely region. Okay, Upper West. Okay. Stephen Peng from Wa. And... Okay, now this one is from Jonathan. Jonathan says there was a policeman in the video, if you analyze it critically, pleading with Ralph. If really there was an assault, he would have been arrested by the police present. No one should forge a story. Ralph is saying he never assaulted anybody. This is a case of an alleged crime that should be investigated by the police, because the behavior by some nurses at Rage and other government hospitals are appalling. Sometimes nurses and doctors neglect patients at critical moments, and if that is even found out by the committee or is not a terms of reference for the committee, they should be added, because clearly public opinion is just not on the side of the nurses all the time in this instant case. So we should look at the case critically. Richmond Sechi, good morning to you, of the Whole Technical University. I have more coming, so we'll go. This one is coming from my great brother, Edem Agle. Good morning to you, Andy. He says, in as much as we condemn the attack on the nurses at Ridge Hospital, we must admonish the nurses also to do their work as nurses they are trained to be. The issue is Ridge Hospital, or at Ridge Hospital, will not make sense to you until you have a relative or loved one sent there. Lackadaisical behavior by the health workers sometimes. As for the GRNA leaders, the least said about them, the better. How have they found their voices all of a sudden? I see a couple of you as well. Akins said Dr. Zato is something else. So I talk about now. Well, thank you very much.
I think the public against the nurses is to do with the strikes they've been going. I think it has been very insensitive to the public. Yeah. So in as much as we sympathize with them in this situation, I think they should reconsider their threat to go on a strike again. I think so.
Nimani said, don't we have CCTV at the hospitals? Thank you very much, gentlemen. Dr. Zato, I love the way you're smiling this morning. Wish you all the best for her.
Because, Sami Jefi called for them to God to kill.
Nice. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.
He called for God to kill Akufo-Addo, and he was rewarded with gold board.
Where?
What do you mean where? You've not seen the video.
Where is the video?
If you want to look smart and fashionable, visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. Now, Woodin is offering an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics and ready-to-wear, all coming in beautiful designs and colors for men and women. Now, with Woodin, you can get creative and versatile with your designs. Be confident, show off how truly African you are in Woodin. Go to a Woodin boutique near you today. Choose from your variety of trendy products they have available to complement your style. Follow them within fashion across social media. And talking about health, etc. Let me say good morning to all the staff and workers, lead administrator or superintendent of the Tema General Hospital. All right, I have some great people there. And also to Dr. Ralph Ama, who leads the hospital now. Wishing you all the best for the day. Now we have cash out. It goes with the short code *439#. Become one of those lucky winners as always and get to win, right? And become one of those lucky winners by increase the number of tickets you have. And that'll be fine. Gifty says, Rashid Taku will not kill me, please. Anyway. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest sports headlines. But again, for our focus on roads and constructions ongoing, we are today on the Adenta Dodowa Road. Cookie T and the rest of the team will be bringing to you live updates. So far, the frustrations of customers as well as patrons and what so far the contractor is doing. Stay with us, we'll right back.